Welcome again, guys. So this is part two of introduction to Forex. So now we've left on from what a broker is, and I spoke about a broker giving you access to trade in the market and giving you leverage to actually be able to control large volume of money in the market, right? So we are going to be doing it more of a practical way. So let's start with the example on the board. What we have there, $500. You deposit $500 into your Forex account. Now, without the leverage the broker is giving to you, you will be able to control just $500 in the market, which is very small, insignificant. Means you can't even trade in the market, right? Because there are some positions, for example, which I'm going to talk about lot size as we go ahead, which you will need, let's say, for example, up to $10,000 to actually trade or open a position. But now with the power of leverage, let's say, for example, now 1 is to 100, right? If the broker gives you 1 is to 100, now you have to, it means that with each $500 with each $1 you deposited, right, you have times 100 of it to trade in the market. Now you've deposited $500, means you have what? You have the ability to control $50,000 with just your $100 which you deposited in the market. Take it over again. With the leverage of 1 is to 100, what does it mean? It means you have the ability to control $50,000 in the market with your $500 capital. Now, don't be confused that you'll be able to use the $50,000. No, it just gives you power to buy up to that amount. That is your buying power, right? But you won't be able to use that money, that 50,000, or you cannot withdraw this money. So, take note of that. Now, you see the next concept there is margin. What is margin all about, right? So margin is the amount of money that is needed for you to open a position with your broker. You actually need margin. So it's like all money that you deposit, right? So you might have a margin of, let's say, 1%, 2% or something, right? So you always see that when you start trading, you notice that the margin is expressed as in terms of percentages, right? That is what we know. You see a margin of, let's say, depending on your leverage, right? Depending on the leverage you get, and that's how they're going to give you your margin to actually trade, right? You always notice that on your account you have the require margin. That is a margin needed to actually open a position, right? And you have what we call free margin, right? Free margin is a margin that is left for you to actually open other positions that if you want to open more positions. Let's say, for example, you've placed a trade of GBP USD and you're buying. They're going to cut some of that amount. The broker has already cut some of that amount from your margin and kept. Now you will see your remaining margin, your free margin, which you can actually use to open more position till it is finished, right? Now if the trade is going against you, right, there will be a certain point where there will be what we call a margin call. So if the trade is going against you and your margin percentage is getting to zero, you will receive a margin call. Means your maintenance margin is now your margin level is already below your maintenance margin. So they'll have to call you and tell you that, oh, you need to deposit more money into your account, right? So this is going to be more of practical thing for you to actually understand it very well, right? Now, the next thing we'll be looking at is what we call what is being traded. Because remember, I told you what is being traded, that we are trading we are trading currency pairs, right? I remember I told you that we are trading currency pairs, GBP USD. Now you need to understand how these pairs are being quoted. How are they quoted, right? So now the first pair you see in red, the one in red is what we call the base currency, and the one in this dark blue you're seeing what we call the quote currency, right? Now, the base currency or the currency you are buying when you trade the forex pair, then the code currency is the currency you're saying. So, if I place a buy order on GBP USD, it means I am buying the GBP USD. It means my forecast is that GBP USD is going to be bullish. I hope you guys are getting it. If you place the trade on GBP USD, means you're buying the GBP USD, means that the GBP USD is going to be bullish. And if you are selling GBP USD, means what? If you are selling a pair like GBP USD, means you actually was selling GBP USD. Means what does it mean? Means your forecast is that GBP USD is going to be weak. Do you get it? Now, how do you trade these currencies, right? That's what we're going to be seeing next. How do you buy and sell them? Now, you see the base currency. Now, in this case, we're using euro, this and that currency pair, euro, GBP, right? So now you're changing the euro against the Great Britain pounds, right? Now you see the base currency and the code currency. Now you see the currency, what we call the bid price and the ask price. Now, if you want to buy this currency, actually, if you want to buy the currency, they will be selling to you what at the ask price. You always know that the ask price is greater than the bid price. And the difference between the ask and the bid price is what we call the spread, which is calculated into pips. All right, let me take it over again. When you want to buy a currency, they will sell to you at the ask price. And when you want to sell, the broker will buy from you at the bid price. Do you get it? And you know that the ask price is always greater than the bid price. And the difference between these two is what we call the spread, which is a pips. And this is where the broker makes his or her own profit from the Forex market, right? So you always see this is how they are quoted. They are always quoted into four decimal places. And the pip is calculated the fourth digit, right? So you see 1.1037, 1.1039. So if you want to know the amount of pips this thing has been moved, right? You take 9 minus 7, which is 2 pips. That is half what you have there. So it is 2 pips, and they will multiply this pips value to get you the amount in dollars, which is I'm going to show you how to calculate this as we go ahead as well, right? Now, let's move on. So as I told you, make sure you ask questions, take down questions if you don't understand anything, and I'll explain that again. Now we are now moving into lot size and the pips calculation, which I said. So you see that here you've been able to know that this when you see move from here to here, it is 2 pips, right? But now how do you convert it to monetary value, right? Which is what we call lot size. Lot size in a nutshell is basically the amount, the quantity of units of pounds that you want to buy. Now, if you are placing an order, they want to buy GBP USD. How many units do you want to buy? Right now, these units are calculated into what? Into lots, lot sizes. We have what we call the standard lot, the mini lot, and the micro lot. Take it over again. Lot size is the quantity of units you want to purchase of a particular currency, right? If you want to purchase GBP, the pound, right? It's China going to US, you want to purchase a pound. How many units of the pound you want to purchase? They will always put it in terms of lot size for us not to be confused. Do you get it? So now, if you take what we call the volume, a standard lot, the first one, the standard, which is one, means you're purchasing what 100,000 units of the pound. If you take a standard lot, you are purchasing 100,000 units of the pound. If you take zero point 0.1 lot, means you're purchasing what? Which call a minute lot, means you're purchasing 10,000 units of the pound. And now these things are calculated into pips. This is how you get the pip value for the money thing. What I said here, 2 pips, right? So if you enter a one standard and this thing move by 1 pip, you move by 1 pip, you get what? $10. If you enter with a one volume, that is the lot size is one, right? Means you have what? $10 if you move by 1 pip. Now, for example, this thing has moved from 1.1037 to 1.1039. If you're buying, right, it means that move by 2 pips. Someone who entered with who purchased 1,000 units, that is one lot, one standard lot, the person will be making what? $10. Someone who purchased zero point 0.1, that is 10,000 units, the person will be making what? Um, $1 per pip, means since he moved by 2 pips, the person will be making how much? $2. And this person will enter with one standard, which is a pip is $10, will be making how much? $20. What is this? 2 pips. That is it. So you need to understand this pip movement and the lot size, because this is what will make you lose money or make money if you don't understand how to put these lot sizes. Because someone might just go and put 10 lots. If you put 10 lots here, what does it mean? Here on this volume, if you put 10 lots, it means that one pip movement will be what? $100. Do you get? So if you things move just by 2 pips, you're making what? $200, right? You're making $200. And if it goes against your direction, you're making what? Negative $200, right? So you should need to understand these lot sizes, right? So I believe I've explained this in detail for you to understand. So come again with your question if you don't understand this particular aspect, and I'll be willing to take it over again, answering the specific part where you don't understand. Now, if you move on to what we call when do you trade, you've understood now how to buy and sell, what you're buying, and how do you actually buy them, right? Now, the in forex market, there are times in which we actually trade, right? We don't just trade like that, right? We have sessions in which we trade. Now, these sessions are divided into four. we have what the Sydney, Tokyo, London, and New York session. Right now, the Sydney is the first session you always get. It opens at 9 at I would say in GMT. Let's use GMT. It opens at 9 p.m. GMT, right, and closes in the morning at 6 a.m. And you notice the London session. That is when the London session will be opening around 8 a.m. Right. So now that is the Tokyo. This we'll call this the Asian session, right? The Asian session. Now we have what we call the London session. The London session opens at 8 a.m. in the morning GMT plus zero, right? And it closes at what? At 5 p.m., right? And now the New York session opens at what? At 1 p.m. and closes at what? At 10 p.m., right? And you said there are some overlapses here. So you notice that the most traded session that you said is a lot of volume in the market is what we call the New York and the London session. These two sessions, when it overlaps, when from let's say from 1 a.m., 1 p.m. to around 5 p.m., there's a lot of volume in the market, and this is when it is advisable to trade. If you are trading around 5, 6 p.m., it is not advisable. I won't advise you to trade at those times. If you are trading at 1 a.m., it's not advisable, except your time zone. If you maybe, for example, you are in Asia or those regions, that's when you can trade in those times. But there's not going to be a lot of volume in the market at those times, right? So these are the two introductory part. The next step we shall be doing now when to buy and actually trade. We'll go into the technical and the fundamental analysis part. But I want you guys to rewatch these videos and make sure you've understood. Ask questions where necessary. Thank you.